In today's video, we're going to be exploring chronic pain being an invisible disability. And you stay around till the very end, you'll see me standing holding a very large bird. And that bird is Toby. And he has three invisible disabilities. One of them is seizures, the other one is cardiovascular disease, and the other one is osteoarthritis. Greetings. It's nice to see you again, and a warm welcome to new viewers of this channel. The recent response to a short that I did about invisible disabilities was overwhelming, showing just how many of us are dealing with invisible disabilities. Today, I want to have a deeper conversation about what it means to live with the invisibility of chronic pain, that others can't see. 1 in 5 adults live with chronic pain. That's millions of us walking around looking perfectly fine while battling invisible pain and symptoms every single day. Let me start with something I'd hear almost weekly when I was still experiencing terrible feelings of complex regional pain syndrome. You don't look sick. And that was meant as a compliment. But it really, it highlights exactly why invisible disabilities are so misunderstood. The truth is most of us have become experts at hiding our pain. We've mastered the art of the smile through it. And I'm fine when people ask you how you are, and even pushing through the workday. There are some things we hear constantly. You're too young to be in pain. Have you tried yoga? I heard that a lot. Or, hey, well, you were fine yesterday. Or another great one is, why don't you just push through it, or better yet, pull yourself together. Each of these comments, while well-intentioned, shows how little people understand chronic pain. It's not about being young or old, and it's not about trying the latest wellness thing. I mean, it's definitely not about pushing through it. Let me explain what a typical day actually may look like in somebody's life with chronic pain. Imagine starting each morning with a limited amount of energy. Let's call it spoons, based on the famous spoon theory. Well, let's say you get maybe 12 spoons for the entire day. A healthy person might have 50 or more, but with chronic pain, you have just 12. So, we're going to look at the daily tasks and the energy cost. So let's see, getting out of bed, it's 1 spoon. Taking a shower, it could be 2 spoons. Getting dressed, 1 spoon. Making breakfast, 1 spoon. Driving to work, 2 spoons. That's already 7 gone. Just doing basic morning tasks. Now imagine trying to work on a full day, maintain your relationships, and handle just basic chores with just only the 5 spoons that are going to be left. And this is the reality of living with chronic pain. Now, everybody watching you know what chronic pain is. You may have different forms of it. Some of us have fibromyalgia. Others deal with CRPS, arthritis, chronic migraines, trigeminal neuralgia, or endometriosis. There's still many others that I don't have time to name. Some of us have conditions that took years to diagnose, and some are still fighting for a diagnosis. The one thing that is common, though you may have a different source of your chronic pain, is you may have burning pain, stabbing pain, throbbing pain, aching pain, and something people just call it nerve pain, where it's shooting and feels hot and sometimes numb. What makes this even harder is how it affects every aspect of our lives. At work, we struggle to request accommodations because our disabilities aren't visible. In our social lives, we're often seen as unreliable because we suddenly have to cancel our plans when our symptoms flare up. And how about when it comes to seeking disability benefits? Trying to prove you're disabled when you look just fine. The mental toll is just as heavy as the physical one. Sometimes we end up doubting ourselves, wondering if maybe it is all in our heads, just like some people, including doctors, may suggest. But here's a spoiler alert. It's not. But here's why I'm making this video. It doesn't have to be this way. Understanding and awareness can make a huge difference. So if you're watching this while dealing with chronic pain, I want you to hear this. You're not alone. Your pain is real and your struggles are valid. So those days when you can barely get out of bed, hey, that is real. The frustrations of having to cancel plans again, I get that. And the tears of trying to explain your pain to someone who just doesn't understand. And well, I have been there. I've been there, done that, lived that. So please know your pain is real, your struggles are valid, and you're just not too young to be in pain. Pain knows no age limit. It doesn't discriminate if you're too young or too old or too wealthy or too poor. Pain is universal, and you don't need to prove your disability. It's okay to rest and set boundaries. You are not making up your pain. You are not exaggerating, and you absolutely deserve to be supported and to be understood. So these are really important things for you to soak in and think about. It may be the first time you're hearing some validation about what your experience is. And I'm glad that I'm making this video. And now a special message for those who are watching who don't live with chronic pain, but want to support somebody who does. Maybe you're watching because your loved one does have the chronic pain and you've heard about this channel. It's important to believe people when they tell you they're in pain. And make sure not to offer unsolicited advice. If they don't ask, don't just volunteer it. You can ask, how can I be of help? And also being understanding about canceled plans. And finally, be an advocate for accessible spaces, comfortable areas for people to sit, and accessibility to get in and not too many steps, and the doors that open by themselves without having to push against them. So understanding and support means more than to someone with chronic pain. And sometimes it's the simplest things like believing people with chronic pain without a question and not making chronic pain sufferers feel guilty about canceling plans. That can make a huge difference in their lives. So if this video resonates with you, please share it. The more we talk about invisible disabilities, the better it's understood, and that's important. So thank you for listening, and don't forget to subscribe for more content about living with chronic pain and also invisible disabilities.